Osho, The Messiah, Volume 2, Reflections on Khalil Gibran's The Prophet, given at the Osho Commune International, Pune, India. Discourse number 8.
Commentaries by Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh on Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. Beloved Bhagwan. And then a scholar said, "Speak to us of talking." And he answered, saying, "You talk when you cease to be at peace with your thoughts, and when you can no longer dwell in the solitude of your heart, you live in your lips, and sound is a diversion and pastime. And in much of your talking, thinking is half murdered. For thought is a bird of space, that in a cage of words may indeed unfold its wings, but cannot fly. There are those among you who seek the talkative through fear of being alone. The silence of aloneness reveals to their eyes their naked selves, and they would escape. And there are those who talk, and without knowledge or forethought, reveal a truth which they themselves do not understand. And there are those who have the truth within them, but they tell it not in words. In the bosom of such as these, the spirit dwells in rhythmic silence. When you meet your friend on the roadside or in the marketplace, let the spirit in you move your lips and direct your tongue. Let the voice within your voice speak to the ear of his ear. For his soul will keep the truth of your heart as the taste of the wine is remembered, when the color is forgotten and the vessel is no more.
Even in his most profound statement, always misses few things. And those few things are so essential that their absence destroys the whole profundity. It also shows that he is not speaking from experience. The first thing is he always answers the question as if the question has been asked by an empty sky. A man who knows does not answer the question. He always answers the questioner. But Khalil Gibran continues, forgets the questioner. Secondly, he never goes deeper than the heart. And the heart is not your real being. Just as you are surrounded by a thick wall of thoughts called mind, you are surrounded by a more delicate but still very strong wall, sometimes even stronger than your hearts, the wall of your feelings, emotions, sentiments. unless you go beyond both, howsoever beautiful the statement may be, it lacks life. It lacks the truth. And then a scholar said, scholars are the most foolish people in the world, because they know nothing, yet they believe as if they know all. They are the people who are living on borrowed knowledge, rotten knowledge, which has been out of date for centuries. Their heads are full. Their hearts are empty. And they know nothing of the being. And the only knowledge worth calling knowledge is an experience of your innermost center, the center of the cyclone. The feelings, the sentiments, the emotions, these are all cyclones. Hearts, howsoever decorated, are nothing but the outer part of the cyclone. Your being is utterly silent, still. There is no thought, there is no feeling, there is no emotion, but a pure isness. Its very purity is so virgin. What to say of others, even you have not entered in your virgin soul. The scholar is a collector of all kinds of junk. I have met scholars almost of all religions. I have met philosophers teaching in the universities. But everything they say is only skin deep. Just scratch a little and you will be aware of their darkness, ignorance. Hence they are very, very touchy. That's why every day I go on receiving summons from people. Their feelings are hurt. Their religions are hurt. Truth is never hurt. Only lies are hurt. Because truth can never be exposed. Lies can be exposed any moment. But they have believed in a lie as a truth. They have not bothered even to look at the roots, whether they are carrying a real rose bush or just something plastic. And they are perfectly happy, at least to the outside world, because the world pays them respect and goes on fulfilling their ego. And because their ego is fulfilled, they go on collecting more and more junk. In Jabalpur, there was a special market called the Thieves' Market, Chor Bazaar. You could get there anything. Everything that has been stolen in Jabalpur or in surrounding towns was sold there. I was a constant visitor, particularly to a small shop. One old man used to run it. He used to sell newspapers, old magazines, books, stolen books. He had no price for them. They were sold by their weight. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 1 kilo. The old man started by and by loving me because I was a constant visitor. I told the old man that you must be the greatest scholar in the world. He said, what? I'm a poor man. I can read a little bit. I'm not a scholar. I said, but you have so much junk. From his shop, you could have found all the religious scriptures, all great novels, Nobel Prize winner books. I am remembering him today because I had got profit from his book shop. Just in 2 annas, because that was the price. The book is small and it has not much weight. He said, I am saying that you are a great scholar because your shop is nothing but a magnified form of the mind of a scholar. He is loaded with knowledge and knows nothing. And if you question him, you hurt him. If you argue against his knowledge, he will take you to the court. What kind of a strange world we have created? To be a scholar, you don't need any intelligence. Just a mechanical memory. intelligence is a totally different phenomenon. The scholar can answer only that question which is stored in his memory system, in his biocomputer. Sometimes even computers are more intelligent. I have heard about a computer. A man was very much amazed when he heard about the miracles that the computer can do. He said, I would like to check it. I cannot believe that a machine can answer your questions. So he went to the central system where the biggest computer and the most sophisticated one was available. And he asked, can you tell me where my father is? For a moment, the computer was silent, and then he said, your father? He is dead, and almost for 5 years. The man laughed. He said, I knew from the very beginning that it is all nonsense. My father has gone fishing. Just now I have left him on the river bank and I have come here. And you are saying my father is 5 years dead. He could not believe when the computer laughed even loudly. He said, my God, you can laugh also. Why not? Because the man you think you have left on the boat is not your father. He is only the husband of your mother. He was very much shocked, and so many people heard it. The whole office knew that this man is a bastard, and the man he thinks is his father is only the husband of his mother. His real father has been dead for 5 years. Even this much intelligence you will not find in a scholar. Ask only what has been fed into his biocomputer. He can repeat the question. He can give the answer. But if something new arises which has not been fed into his memory, he is absolutely impotent. Intelligence is a totally different matter. It is your awareness encountering a new situation and finding out ways and means how to deal with it. This country has known the greatest scholars of the world for 10,000 years. But what is their contribution? They cannot contribute anything. They can only repeat what has been repeated by others to them. Situations go on changing. Life brings new problems, new questions. These scholars, they somehow go on giving old answers which are absolutely irrelevant to the real situation through which they are passing. Otherwise, 10,000 years of intelligence, this country would have been a real paradise, not a dream, but a reality. On the contrary, this country has become a hell. And who is responsible? All your scholars. Memory is cheap. Even idiots have memory. Intelligence needs arduous effort to go into your aloneness, inwards, in the darkness, and to find the center of your life. The moment you find that center, immediately something that was asleep is awakened. We have called that awakened man the real and authentic man. We have called him the Jinnah because he has conquered himself. We have called him the Buddha because he is enlightened. We have called him the seer because only now for the first time, he has eyes. Up to now, he has been a blind fellow. Al-Mustafa would have done better if he first hammered the scholar a little. And you look at the poverty of his question. And then a scholar said, speak of talking. Only parrots can ask that question. Talking? Was the scholar a baby who does not know how to talk? And Al-Mustafa did not indicate that your question is stupid and you are a very scholarly idiot. He started answering. He is not taking any note of the questioner. And I say unto you again and again, unless the questioner is answered, just to answer the question is not of much use. Because it is arising out of the questioner and his ignorance. You have to light a candle into his being first. Perhaps then he may be able to understand what you are going to say. This is not a small matter. It is the most important matter. That's why Khalil Gibran's so profound statements have been read by millions just like poetry. Nobody has thought that there is any truth in it. Yes, everybody has said that his way of saying has a beauty of its own. His words are so poetic and so musical. But that is as if you are talking about the beauty of a woman and you talk about her clothes, that you are a great beauty. Your clothes are so beautiful. Your ornaments are so valuable. And you don't mention her eyes, and you don't mention her face, and you don't mention the warmth of her body, and you don't mention the love that surrounds her. She is going to freak out that you seem to be a cloth merchant. Or a goldsmith. I am not my clothes, neither am I my ornaments. You have not mentioned anything that belongs to me. You talk when you cease to be at peace with your own thoughts. That is not necessarily true. You talk when you cease to be at peace with your thoughts. Why should you talk? And what you are going to talk when all your thoughts are at peace, fast asleep? I would like to say to you, you talk or you are capable to talk when your mind completely stops disturbing your consciousness. But it is not necessary. If you want troubles, you talk. If you want to remain peaceful and silent and enjoy, you remain silent. In this insane world, to say anything true is challenging all the idiots because their lies are exposed. But it is not only that the thoughts are at peace. Thoughts are never at peace. Either they are or they are not. It is a contradictory statement. Perhaps he has a certain far away insight into the truth, but he is not clear. His words, peace with your thoughts, is a self-contradiction. Either you can have thoughts or you can have peace. Because thoughts are the only disturbances in your consciousness. You talk when you cease to be at peace with your thoughts. And when you can no longer dwell in the solitude of your heart, you live. Why people want to talk? Everybody all over the world is talking. I have heard that only once, far back, for 1 minute, all talking on the earth had stopped. Because a prophet has declared that if you want to hear the God for 1 minute, when the noon is exactly in the middle of the sky, when the sun has crossed half the way, as your clocks start ringing bells that it is 12 o'clock, for 1 minute, stop if you want to hear God. It is an ancient story. Told by Chuang Tzu, in whose name this auditorium is dedicated. Because I love many people, but Chuang Tzu stands separate as a class, a category in himself. He was really a great rascal saint. I love him not because he was a saint, because saints are 1 rupee a dozen, but because he was a rascal saint, which is a rare, very rare combination. And because Chuang Tzu was respected all over China, people believed, and for one moment there was silence all over the earth. Nobody heard the God, if there is no God. But nobody complained. The story has such a beautiful meaning. Nobody complained that you have deceived us, unnecessarily wasted our one time, 1 minute. We could have smoked a cigarette or went on chewing our gum, or talking beautiful things. You stopped us for 1 minute, but nobody came to complain to him. He himself asked people, "Are you disappointed in me?" They said no. The moment we became silent, we heard a very still small voice within our own heart, within our own being. We have come to show our gratitude to you and touch your feet, that we would have never stopped even for 1 minute, and would have never been able to discover that the God is not in the sky, but within your own being. But He does not shout. He whispers, just the way lovers whisper to each other. Just as secrets are whispered from one ear, from one mouth to another ear. It is said that if you want your wife to listen what you are saying, don't say loudly. Just whisper to somebody and she will hear it certainly. The very whispering makes it clear that something is being hidden from her. Something is being kept as a secret and she is not included in it. But if you are saying loudly, no wife listens. This is everyday ritual. I was staying in Calcutta and I had to reach to a meeting, and I hate to be late, and the husband who was driving me was honking the horn for the wife to come. Everybody heard the honking of his horn, that he gone mad or what? The car is standing, nobody is ahead. Why is the honking? And then the wife opened the window and said, I have said to you at least 1,000 times that I am coming in 1 minute, but you go on honking your horn. Go on. But I will take my time. I will come in 1 minute. I said, my God, she cannot even say in 1 minute 1,000 times. The husband said, you will not be able to understand. You are not a husband. I said, I am not husband because of people like you seeing all around the situation of the husband. I decided that it is better not to be a husband rather than remain in a constant hell. Al-Mustafa is saying, you talk when you cease to be at peace with your hearts. A it has a different meaning also. I have given you the meaning that I would like. But you must be made aware of the different meaning. He is saying, when you are not involved with your thoughts, you cannot remain silent. You have become so accustomed of continuously talking inside your mind. What else is your mind? A talking machine. Most of the time, like a gramophone whose needle has stuck at a certain point. So you go on again and again. Every day the same ritual, the same thought, the same fear. And it stops at the same point. He is saying you talk only when your thoughts are not available to you. When your thoughts are not playing football in your mind, then you start playing football with somebody else. What is your conversation? Just a football match, throwing words at each other. Nobody is listening. Have you ever listened to anybody? You simply pick up a certain word from which you can start talking. You don't listen what he is saying. He waits just out of courtesy, looking for the right word from which he can start again. This is called conversation. It is simply a football match. Al-Mustafa is right that a man of silence will enjoy his silence. But you cannot remain silent even for a few minutes. You have to do something. I used to live with a friend who could not stay at rest either in mind or body for a single moment. He was fidgeting in the body, tossing and turning. I said, what kind of yoga you have learned? I have gone through Patanjali and all other yoga scriptures. I have never come across this exercise that you do. And he was always in search of somebody to start conversation. People who used to come to me started asking me, is your house owner in the house? Then we are not coming. Because he catches hold of us just on the gate. He holds the hand so we cannot even escape. And it looks very odd. And he starts talking about all kinds of things. And we go on saying that we have come to meet your guest. He said, first meet the host. This is the price you have to pay. So just tell us when he is not at home, then we will come. Otherwise, meet us in a nearby garden and let him wait on the gate. I asked him many times, were you in your last birth an American? He said, why you say that? Because smoking cigarette is a substitute for conversation. When you don't have anybody else, chewing gum is a substitute for talking when you have nobody else. At least the chewing gum gives you an excuse to open your mouth, close your mouth, and open your mouth and close your mouth. Without chewing gum, also you can do it, but then it will look very absurd. And when you can no longer dwell in the solitude of your heart, you live in your lips, and sound is a diversion and a pastime. When you are unable to live in the silence, your whole life becomes concentrated in your lips. And this is nothing but a diversion and a pastime. You are destroying your time and you are destroying the time of others. And it is such a self-deception that you are not even aware of it. And in much of your talking, thinking is half murder. Thinking needs solitude, aloneness, so that you can figure out things in a sane way. But you continuously murder your thinking because all your energy is wasted in talking. And people are talking without thinking what they can talk. They repeat the newspaper they have been reading. They repeat the film they have seen. They repeat the fight that went on in their house. It is all rubbish. Al-Mustafa is saying thinking should come out of contemplation. But contemplation needs that you try to be silent. Contemplation is not the greatest thing in your life. Higher than contemplation is meditation. So these are the three layers in you. Talking, which murders half of your thinking. Contemplation, which can give you new insights. But they will be also converted sooner or later into thoughts. Meditation which takes you beyond into the very center of silence and solitude. Thinking is not born out of it. A man of meditation can talk, because for him his mind has become a servant. He can use it like any machine. Ordinarily, it is just the opposite. Mind has become your master, and it has filled your whole inner space with thoughts. Even contemplation is difficult, and meditation is not even heard of. For thought is a bird of space that in a cage of words may indeed unfold its wings but cannot fly. For thought is a bird of space. It is such a great insight that only now science has become aware that thoughts are only certain vibrations moving in the space. If you have the right instrument to catch them, you can catch them. But words become cages. That in a cage of words may indeed unfold its wings, but cannot fly. You must have seen cages in words. I used to visit one of the great freedom fighters. He had traveled all over the world many times. He was a very well-respected man, very rich. He was only next to Winston Churchill in being continuously for 60 years to be the member of the parliament, non-stop. From every country he used to bring birds. He loved them. And he was rich. So the cages were very beautiful. But I said to him that you are deceiving yourself that you love these words. If you love them, open the doors, let them fly. Because love always gives freedom. Any love that becomes an imprisonment is not love, it is hate. He was shocked. Next morning he came to me and he said, perhaps you are right. I don't love the words. I simply love decorating my garden and my palace. His house was called palace because his father served the British government, and the British government has given him a title of Raja, a king. Hence his house, it was palatial, was called since then the palace of Raja Gokul Das. That was his father's name. I said, you simply love your ego. He said, come with me. Help me to free all those birds. And it was such a joy to see those birds again opening their wings into the sky and disappearing into the space. I said, this will give you some sense of what love is. It never engages anybody. It gives only freedom. There are those among you who seek the talkative through fear of being alone. You go to talkative friends for a simple reason, because you are afraid of being alone. I have seen people even talking to themselves. Because in my village, just by my house side, there was a dark street, and I have managed to create the rumor in the whole city that it is full of ghosts. Just to keep my house in complete silence, at least in the night nobody goes. Almost 99% people stop. But there used to live few priests, and they did not believe in the rumor, but it was half-hearted. Who knows, perhaps the ghosts are there, but they have lived there for long, and this small boy has created the whole city filled with the rumor. They were not going to be dominated by my rumor. So what they used to do, they will start chanting mantras and running. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, and running fast. I was amazed that this is strange. Why they shout their mantras? In the day, they don't shout. Speaking creates the feeling as if there is somebody else with you, because you always speak to somebody else. It is a deep association. And I had stopped that 1% too. Just by a small bamboo stick, because the street was very narrow and there were only 2-3 persons left, and they were making more noise than all the people who lived beyond the street had ever made. So a simple strategy I used, I will just put a bamboo, tie it with a tree on this side and on the other side, and the priest will come, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, and clap. And then he will run saying, my God, that boy is right. And they had not even the courage to look that it was just a bamboo that has prevented them. And once those priests also stopped passing, it was a little tedious for them because they had to go almost half a mile to go to their house if they wanted to avoid that street. That was a shortcut. But the street became so silent, so peaceful, that I used to meditate there. The night became, in that street, so sacred that no temple is so silent. And since I used to sit there for hours late in the night, another rumor those priests spread that not only you should be afraid of the ghost, this boy is also in conspiracy with the ghost, because we have seen him sitting there for hours. We cannot pass the street and he sits there and no ghost tortures him. And people started asking me, even my principal of the school called me, that I hear many rumors. First I heard that the whole street is filled with ghosts, and now I hear nobody goes there. As the sun sets, but you have been found sitting there in the middle of the night. So what is the secret of it? I said, are you capable of keeping a secret to yourself? Because it is a dangerous secret. If you open your mouth about it to anybody, then it is beyond me. I cannot help. Those ghosts, he said, you keep it to yourself, because it is one of the most difficult things in life to keep a secret. One is tempted to say it to somebody, to share it. I said, that is your choice. I am willing to say you, but then I am out of the game. Then the ghosts and you are in direct contact. He said, I don't want. And today, I had asked myself, I am sad, and I asked to be forgiven, but never on your own account. Tell me the secret. Don't tell anybody. Just keep it with yourself. This is your business. Why I should get into it? And I don't have to pass that street. I live on another road. Just out of curiosity, I had asked. I said, I am willing to fulfill your curiosity. But once the secret is open, this is a contract between me and the ghosts, that if I say to anybody, then they will take care of that person. I cannot do anything. I cannot prevent it. I am helpless. He said, you simply go. And even if you do some mischief which you are continuously doing in the school, and a day rarely passes when your teachers are not sending you to my office, I am circulating a notice that this boy should not be sent to my office because someday if he opens his mouth, because it is very difficult to keep the secret, I can understand. And you are so young, you may open the secret, then I am finished. I have children, I have wife, I have old father, I have old mother. Be compassionate. I said, that's good. That is another contract between me and you, that no teacher can send me to the principal. He said, agreed. I said, this is how I make contracts. And whenever any teacher said that if you do this kind of mischief, and they were not mischief, simple things. But people who are in power are always worried. Just a brick is taken out of their power, then the whole house can collapse. One day I had just brought a donkey in the class. Now it is not a mischief, because I have told him that this poor fellow wants to be enrolled. I am going to give his fee. The teacher said, I have never seen a boy like you, a donkey. I said, you are teaching so many donkeys. You yourself have been taught who you are, just a donkey. He said, this is too much. I will send you to the principal. I said, I am ready. My donkey is ready. I will ride on the donkey and go to the principal. But remember that he has sent a notice to every teacher. I should not be sent, and you are sending me not only alone, but with my donkey. You will be in trouble. He said, wait. Just don't torture him. Let the donkey go, because I am only temporarily appointed. If the principal gets angry at me, and he is bound to get angry seeing you coming on the donkey in his office, my service will be finished. I am not yet confirmed. So I said, okay. When you get confirmed, please inform me. This is a contract. He said, you are a strange person. You go making contracts with everybody. One-sided contracts. I said, it is not one-sided. I am saving your children, your wife, your mother, your old father. What you are giving in return? It is just out of compassion. That if you find or think that I am doing something which is a mischief, ignore. Otherwise the donkey will be back. And this donkey is no ordinary donkey. He used to live very close. He was a donkey of a washerman who used to wash our clothes. So he used to come every day. The washerman used to collect the clothes while I used to talk to the donkey. Slowly we became very friends. If I simply give him the sign, come in, he will come in. And if I say go out, he will go out. So I said, this is no ordinary donkey. It is very intelligent. Do you want to see? He said, a donkey and intelligent? I said, what do you think about yourself? Just because he cannot speak, an innocent, dumb fellow, you think he has not intelligence? I said, come in. And he immediately came in. I said, he even understands English. And I said, that's okay, you can go. He went out. That teacher said, okay, the contract is made. How many contracts you have? And how do you remember? I said, I have a notebook with me. Every contract is written in it. And the person with whom I make the contract has to sign it, because I don't believe in verbal things. So this is your contract. You sign it. He said, this is strange. If you show to anybody, he will think I am also a donkey. I said, there is no question of anybody thinking. You are. So simply sign it, otherwise I am going to the prince. Should I call my donkey? He said, no, wait. And he immediately signed. And I said, write in your own handwriting that this contract will remain valid as long as I am alive. Do you mean even when I have left this school, working somewhere else? I said, it does not matter, wherever you are. Once a contract signed with me, it is signed until death departs us. He said, okay. Somewhere somebody is preserving that diary in which all the contracts that I used to make are still preserved. It is a historical monument against the whole humanity, that what kind of people you have. There are those among you who seek the talkative through fear of being alone. You don't talk because you have to convey something. You don't talk because your talk is going to enhance the richness of the person. You don't talk because you want some intimacy, some friendship. You are destroying that person's time simply out of your own fear, that you don't want to be alone. Every woman knows it. Whenever the husband gets angry, she throws her keys and she says, I am going. And immediately all anger disappears. I am going to my fathers and mothers. And the man knows perfectly he cannot live alone. Although this woman is a constant pain in the neck, but what to do? This is the fate of man, and there is no medicine for it. Have you ever heard any medicine which can help pain in the neck, pain in the head? There are medicines, but pain in the neck is a psychological phenomenon. No medicine can help it. Only if the wife comes back and you come with ice cream and flowers perhaps. I say perhaps because it depends on different persons. Some women will rejoice that you take care of them. Some women will suspect that there is something cooking. Why you have brought ice cream? Just to hide some guilt? Are you after some other woman? Because that's what happens. Whenever a man starts being interested in some other woman, his conscience pricks. Just to erase it, he comes with sweets, ice cream, flowers, new clothes for the wife, chocolates for the children. But any intelligent woman can say that you never come with these things suddenly today, and it is not Christmas time, it is not the Hindu festival of Diwali. What special reason there is that you wasted your money? It is not even the first date when you get your salary. You must have brought all these things. Borrowing money from someone because it is the end of the month. So don't try to deceive me. So it depends on each woman, each man, what will be the outcome. But one thing is certain, nobody wants to be alone. And to be alone is the greatest gift of existence. This is the poverty of man and his consciousness, that he is destroying the greatest gift, because it is in your aloneness only you can blossom. You can find the source of your life, which is also light and which is also laughter. The silence of aloneness reveals to their eyes their naked selves, and they would escape. Talking, seeing a movie, or sitting before a television set helps you only in one thing. These are all alcoholic drugs. Whether you understand or not, because the function is the same. People drink alcohol to forget their ugliness, their jealousy, their anxiety, their competitiveness, their meanness, their greed, and the line is long. To forget it all, they drink. To forget it all, they talk. They become engaged in talk naturally. Their mind cannot do both the things simultaneously. And there are those who talk and without knowledge or forethought reveal a truth which they themselves do not understand. Something borrowed something upon which they have stumbled accidentally. They don't even understand that it is truth. You may stumble upon a diamond on the road, but unless a jeweler cuts it, shapes it, gives it as many aspects as possible, you will not be able to recognize that it is a true diamond. You may think it is a good stone at the most. You may throw it out of the road that it may hurt somebody else. And there are those who talk and without knowledge or forethought reveal a truth which they themselves do not understand. It is not that you are the first one in the world who is going to find the truth. It has been found again and again by thousands of people. It has been given expression in different ways by different people. You may stumble upon it. You may start talking about it, but you don't know what you are talking about. Neither you can explain to the person who is listening to you. And there are those who have the truth within them, but they tell it not in words. They are the mystics. They have realized it and also realized that it is next to impossible to express it into words. Hence they remain silent. In the bosom of such as these, the spirit dwells in rhythmic silence. These are the people who are the very salt of the earth. But because they remain silent, they don't help much in rising, awakening those who are asleep. They are awake, but they are not at all interested that the whole world is asleep. They will not nudge you, they will not shake you, they will not throw cold water in your eyes. They have found the truth, but they are not the people who are ready to sacrifice themselves for the truth they have found. Hence, there is one category even above than the mystics, which Khalil Gibran completely forgets. Perhaps he is not aware. The category of the masters who are mystics, as far as their own growth is concerned, they have reached to the highest peak. But they seem to be dry souls, unconcerned about others who are struggling in darkness, searching and seeking, and their life is nothing but misery. The master is a mystic who knows that it is very difficult express, but makes every effort, even to the point of being crucified, even to the point of being stoned, even to the point of being poisoned. I would have remained silent. There was no police commissioner's order that you have to speak within 30 minutes. But I could not see the point. If I am not going to speak, to live on the earth and unnecessarily crowded, which is already overcrowded. If I have found, it means everybody else is capable of finding it. And it is natural. If you disturb somebody in his sleep, he is going to be angry. Hence, whatever has happened to me, all kinds of harassments from religions, from governments, from police officers, from ordinary idiots of all religions, I don't blame them. It is my own responsibility. What they are doing is simply showing their irritation that we were sleeping so silently. Perhaps we were seeing a beautiful dream, a naked girl from the Playboy magazine. And this man comes and starts waking. In the day, people don't allow. Even Playboy magazines are Playgirl magazines, and that type of pornography is sold under the table. Because even the seller is ashamed, the buyer is ashamed, and anybody else standing may spread the news that this professor, this doctor, this engineer was buying a pornographic magazine. And they hide all these magazines in their Bibles, in their Bhagavad Gitas, in their Ramayanas. So nobody in the home is aware, because nobody touches these books. Bibles, Gitas, Qurans, nobody touches these books. It happened, one man who used to sell encyclopedias knocked on a door. The woman of the house opened the door and she said immediately, "We have a very good encyclopedia, you can see there on the table. So please don't bother us again." That man looked at the table and he said, "That is not an encyclopedia, that is Holy Bible." The woman said, "You seem to be a magician. From that far, how can you assume it, that it is a Holy Bible?" He said, "The dust on it is enough proof. Nobody ever touches it. These are untouchable books. All your holy books are untouchable. They simply gather dust." So if you disturb somebody's sleep, naturally he is going to be angry. Hence, I have no complaint against anybody. Just once in a while I think that had it not been better not to get involved with this insane humanity, But now it is too late. Now I'm going to speak harder and harder and hurt as many people as possible. I have asked my legal advisor Tathagat, who is here, that you ask a permission for me directly to enter into the courts and to fight the cases. Why unnecessarily harass advocates and waste money? I can fight myself far better. But I am going to fight to the very last breath of my life, because I still believe in this vast oceanic crowd of humanity, there must be few people who will be benefited, and I have nothing to lose. And particularly the people who have gathered around me, for them I have to speak. And I have to speak for the new man who is going to be born, a new humanity and a new earth. And any sacrifice is small compared to the future generations. I would like to become a demarcation line between the past and the future. When you meet your friend on the roadside or in the marketplace, let the spirit in you move your lips and direct your tongue, but not without the movement of your spirit. If this simple statement is followed, the whole world will fall into a deep silence. What have you to say? It is not the movement of your spirit, but only rubbish thoughts gathered in the head. Let the voice within your voice speak to the ear of his ear. He is saying, let the voice within your voice, because there is a voice that will be heard outside, but before it is heard outside, there is a voice you hear inside. That which you hear inside in the deepest parts of your being, only that is worth speaking, and only that is worth listening. At the moment you listen only with the ear which are outside, it is not of any use. Unless you listen with the ear which is hidden inside the ear, which is directly connected to your being. All your senses have two sides. One, the roots that go inward, and one, the branches and the trunk and the foliage that go outside. If you don't have roots, please don't speak. The tree is dead, or perhaps is made of plastic. speak from within, use the voice that can take it on its wings to the outside, and the same has to be as far as listening is concerned. Don't just hear, listen. Let it reach to the very roots of your being. Then only there is a communion. When you meet your friend on the roadside or in the marketplace, let the spirit in you move your lips and direct your tongue. Let the voice within your voice speak to the ear of his ear. For his soul will keep the truth of your heart as the taste of the wine is remembered. You must have heard of people who can with blindfolded eyes taste the wine and can tell what make it is, in what year it was made, from what country it is coming, just by tasting it. They still remember the taste. I have heard one man entered into a pub and he said, I challenge all the drinkers here. These are $1,000. You blindfold my eye and give me any kind of wine, and I will give you the wine's name, manufacturer's name, the country, and the year. If I fail, these 1,000 rupee dollars are yours. But if I succeed, then whoever takes the challenge and brings the wine to me, put $1,000 on top of it. So the challenge goes on becoming bigger. Then it is $2,000 on a stake. Then it is $3,000 on a stake. Then it is $5,000 on a stake. Everybody was excited. It was worth accepting the challenge. The man seems to be either insane, because to tell about the year, the country, the name of the wine, the name of the makers, such a difficult job just by tasting it. But the man went on winning. 10 people lost, and there was a pile of $11,000. Then a man brought a cup. He tasted it, wondered for a moment, tasted it again, and then opened his blindfold. He said, "Who is this man? This is man's urine. This is not wine." And somebody in the crowd said, "But tell whose?" Otherwise, you are lost. It is fresh, so there is no need to be bothered about the date. But tell whose. But there are experts. If Morarji Desai was there, he would have told that it is not fresh or fresh. He would have told whether it belongs to a Hindu or a Mohammedan, whether it belongs to some royal family or some Sudra, whether it belongs to a Gandhian or a controversial man, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh.
Yes, Bhagwan.